Before I leave, I wanted to work with all of you on eradicating something I hate from the world, and it's the overuse of fake quotation marks. Those of you who do this know who you are, this stuff. Hey, tonight we're going to a comedy show. I hate that. Why is that the only form of punctuation anybody ever acts out? You never see anybody act out parentheses when they go off on a tangent. That never happens. You never see anybody act out a colon. No one's ever like, man, I gotta go to the store, I gotta pick up eggs, butter, Us Weekly, blank VHS tapes. You never see that. And you never see anybody act out a semicolon. That's mainly because nobody knows how to use a semicolon. That was a tangent about a semicolon, so I put it in parentheses. All right, everybody, you've been a great crowd. My name is Mikey. Gleason. Have a wonderful night.
Mikey Gleason, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy Hanukkah! It's a big deal, though, for Jews to keep your secret that Santa Claus, just might not be real. And I remember being young and asking my dad, I'm like, okay, so is Santa Claus real? And he didn't want me to blow it for my friends at all. So he was really conscientious, and in his panic, he said, yes, Santa is real. And he comes to everybody's house but ours. Why, he didn't just start doling out the Prozac at that point. So we wanted to be really careful with our son. So we told our son that, yes, Santa is real. He's going to blow it for his friends. But then he takes all the toys he makes in the North Pole and he drops them off at the Hanukkah factory. And then Mom and Dad have to schlep down to the Hanukkah factory to get the toys, because Santa's in a big hurry because all of your friends have been paranoid for the past 6 weeks because of some elf on a shelf in the living room. And he has to get them the goods. Lest it just fall apart. And so in trying to keep the magic alive of any of our holidays, which are nowhere near as exciting as yours, I take the time every year to go to my son's school, and he's at just an awesome, wonderful school, but he is the only Jewish boy in the 3rd grade. Don't worry, I got this covered. So I go every year since kindergarten. I'm like the Jewish mom, and I teach about the Jewish holidays, and blah, 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 blah. And I get out of the car this year, because I went and talked to them in September about the Jewish holidays. I get out of the car, and I'm almost at the door, and it hits me. I can tell these little blonde children anything! Anything! Oh my God, it's a blank canvas! So I get in there, I'm like, the Jewish people invented cream cheese. How many of you know that? Raise your hand. You got it. Yay. I wanted to keep the magic alive, and I was so happy I had a good magical answer for him, because he came up to me last week and he said, okay, I know there's no Santa, but Mom, is there really a land of misfit toys? I'm so happy I could answer him. I said, yes, honey, it's called the Unitarian Church.
I got to talk really fast because Steve gets really pissed if you go over that 5 minutes. I mean, like, it takes me, what, a half an hour to get the fucking top off the Advil so I can stand up to do stand up. But I mean, he gets really mad, like Chris Christie mad. I am really going to miss those politicians that the comedy gods sent to us. I was afraid I was never going to see Santorum again. And then I turned on QVC. I thought he'd be selling one of those adorable little sleeveless sweaters. But no, you know what he was selling? These long, stunning white robes with these little matching hoods, flame retardant. They were even on Easy Pay. But white's not my best color. Let's get this out of the way. Who am I? What the hell am I doing up here? And how old am I? I'm Natalie, Natasha for short, and I'm broke. I'm post, I don't have enough time, post-menopausal, and I hate kids and old people. So, I am a poor, dried-up bitch, okay? What am I doing up here? Oh, that's easy. I'm disgracing my family. How old am I? Blow me. I don't think it comes as a surprise that my 3 sons have not selected wives that reminded them of their mother.
Have you ever met someone where you just slowly subtract points off their IQ as you're talking to them? She says this to me during dinner. Hey, when you eat mashed potatoes, does it go down the food pipe or the drink pipe? That's unbelievably stupid. And as attractive as she was, I knew that day was over. I got the bill. It was exactly $100. I told her, I will pay the bill if you pay the tip. I got my $100. She starts doing this move on her fingers. I'm like, oh, at this restaurant, it's 18% of 100. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Of 100. And I said to her, what's 50% of 100? 50. What's 25% of 100? 25. What's 18% of 100? I don't have a calculator. I can't stand being around stupid people like that. I can't. I yell, I scream, you know, I take their glass of wine and just throw it right in their face. Which is the exact same reason I'm not allowed back in church.
Hello!
Right.
Hey, thank you, literally 3 people. I'm glad you guys are here, and I hope everybody else got laid off today. Come on. That's a weird term, right? Getting laid off, you know? Getting laid is great. Getting off is also awesome. Getting laid off while you're at work should be fantastic. But it just means you can't go there anymore. I work in Philadelphia on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway serving coffee to the 1%. And I noticed something about the 1%. You know what they all get with their coffee? Spit. I spit in their coffee. Not every time, just exactly 99% of the time. Pretty often.
Well, if you haven't seen the movie Roots, I just recently watched the movie Roots, and while I was watching the movie Roots, I told myself that we have came such a long way as a country, black people, white people getting together, but I told myself I couldn't have been no slave. Now forget that, especially in the weather we're having, forget heat. Shoot, I'm not picking no cotton in no cold. But can you imagine if, the greatest entertainers today were slaves, if slavery was still going on? Like, imagine Chris Rock as a slave. Can you imagine that? Overseer comes and be like, hey, Rock, boy, ain't nobody told you to stop working. You better get on out there and pick that cotton. Why you so loud, motherfucker? Why the fuck you so loud? I'm just tired, just tired and shit. Just want to rest my cause. The slaves are trying to help Chris out, talking about, yo, Chris, can you just pick the cotton and stop playing around? Just pick, man. He's really upset. I'm not scared of him. Shit, he's just mad because Harriet Tubman came back last week, took half the slaves up the Underground Railroad of Freedom. I know. So I go.
Here's how I found out that I had a problem. I was at a point in my life where I was eating 1 sheet cake a day for a month and a half straight, okay? Now I was going to the same bakery every single day, and one day she was sliding my sheet cake across the counter, and she goes, what do you do with all this cake? And I was like, eat this cake, what the hell are you talking about? And she got all real serious, and she was like, whoa, you're gonna die. That is too much cake. You cannot eat that much cake. This is a woman whose livelihood depends on selling me cake. Okay, and she is concerned and disgusted with how much cake I consume. That was a huge wake-up call for me. That was the day I realized that I need to get my life together and find a new bakery. Well,
procedure. I was in some special ed classes when I was younger because of my dad's heavy Ballston accent. When he was enrolling me in school, he told the teacher that I was extremely artistic, and so I spent the next 10 years learning how to make eye contact. That was my childhood right there. Not very productive.
New Year's resolutions? Anybody still got their New Year's resolution hanging on there? I mean, obviously, if you look at me, we know what my New Year's resolution is every year, and that's not to be the fattest person in this place, but it's pretty disgusting. I'm trying to work out. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods recently. I went and bought some new sneakers to work out with, and the guy tried to get me one of those Under Armour shirts. And I was like, it's $40 for a t-shirt. What's the big deal about this shirt? And he's like, well, it's polyester to whisk the moisture away. I'm like, dude, I'm almost 300 pounds. If I'm wearing anything, it should be made out of ShamWow. I can stop and like wring it out every couple of lawns, charge people for like irrigation, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but they make underwear for men now for running. I guess the same premise, you know, behind the sports bra for women. I bought a pair by Jockey. It was called the Pouch. Kind of had like a little overhead, little compartment for my overhead carry-ons there, and it was okay. I'm not gonna lie, it was okay, but I thought I could do one better. So now when I work out, I just wear a Crown Royal bag tied around the waist. Get that going on. But the worst part about working out for me is before I'm even out the door, and that's tying my shoes. Tying my shoes is like, for me, is like when you're watching A&E and you watch one of these stations where like, these shows where the woman careens off the road and goes into the lake and the car's filling up with water and she's freaking out and the Good Samaritan dives in and he's trying to get the window down and they can't get it because they didn't wait for the water to fill up and pressurize so they can roll it down and everything would be great. So the guys down there, and they're frantically looking at each other through the window, and the guy realizes halfway through, like, I gotta go up and get a breath of air. That's the terror that I go through trying to tie my shoes in one breath. And the last time I almost had it, I woke up passed out on the floor with a knot on my head from the coffee table. So I know I'm making progress if I can tie those shoes. But
sometimes I like to wear a red shirt and khakis and show up at Target. Because I figured out you can walk out with anything for free. They think you work there. 3 people asked me where they could find the electronics. I walked out with a plasma screen TV. Find it yourself. I'm on break. A hatchback and I'm out of here. I'm not making this up. I wandered into Target recently, and in the men's department, they have adult superhero underwear. And a sign above it that says Men's Essentials. Really? If you're over the age of, I don't know, 15, and Batman superhero underwear are essential to you, you know what's also essential? You register your creepy ass online. You should not be allowed to buy a van with no windows, water ski rope, or duct tape in the same transaction. You cross the threshold into creepy. Did somebody actually say, does that sound familiar, Cindy? I gotta know where you work? Oh, I do, baby. I really shouldn't face you this way, should I? Should I? No. I should give you a view you're more used to. Yeah, exactly. You work in a gay nightclub, right? No.